Hey, 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 this is, but I'm a Jersey girl, don't get it twisted. Jersey girl in the house, organic chef. I'm out. That's right, it's Friday, your girl got her feet out. I'm in Georgia, holla at your girl, don't be jelly, y'all. Going in the oven, y'all. Going in the oven, y'all, here we go. So our purees are done. And what are we about to do?
Let's plate up!
You heard it, let's plate up. I'll be right back. What's going on? It's your girl, Organic Chef. Holler at me. I'm doing a great episode today. We are making cauliflower steaks. That's right, cauliflower steaks. Veggie steaks coming at you. So we're doing we're gonna make some turmeric roasted sweet potatoes. Now, I also have another recipe which I have russet potatoes, but I don't have any of that. So you know my motto, use what you got to get what you want. So we're using sweet potatoes instead, and that's gonna be nice because turmeric has that nice yellow hue, orange hue, and then you got that nice orangey meaty flesh of the sweet potato, so that's gonna go really, really well together. So let's get cooking and let's go over these ingredients that we're gonna be using today. So let's talk about those ingredients that we're gonna be using today. I have 1 red onion, seed, organic of course. I have some fresh thyme. Do you have the thyme? I never have any thyme. I've got some pomegranates, customary for this time of year when you talk about seasonal ingredients and using what you have and, you know, taking advantage of your local farms. Seasonal is where it's at. I have some red kale, pretty, organic. Gonna make a salad with that. I've got some leftover English organic cucumber. We're going to use some of that. I have some leftover leeks. Stars of the show, some organic cauliflower, non-GMO. And I've got an organic non-GMO sweet potato. So, I know you're saying like, okay, so where's all the spices? Where's that flavor? Where's that sabor? So I have some stuff that I'm going to be using for that today. I got some fresh cilantro, fresh parsley. Along with that, we've got our organic turmeric. I got some red chili flakes that we're going to be using today. I'm going to use the tar, which has got some sumac in it. It's Middle Eastern spices. I'm going to use some of that today. And then I've got some fresh ones that I ground up and I toasted. So I've got cumin, coriander, and some peppercorns in here. And it's so aromatic. It smells fantastic. We're going to use that for our cauliflower steak as a rub. I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a little bit. So I've got some 21 herbs and spices, my organic blend that I like to use. And that's how we're going to do our flavoring and our seasoning, along with pinch of salt and pepper to taste. So come on back and we're gonna get in this kitchen and we're gonna start that cooking. Let's get cooking. So we're back and I've got it situated so we're ready to start our prep for our dishes that we're gonna be making today. We're doing a cauliflower steak today with some turmeric potatoes and a fresh kale salad. So red kale salad, let me get it right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my marinade for my steaks. So for that, we're going to do some avocado oil, about ½ cup. So to that, I'm going to add my spice mixture. So I'm going to use my cumin, coriander, and peppercorn spice mixture here. About 3 tablespoons. And to that, I'm going to add a little bit of my organic spice, just a little bit, just a pinch. So I've got my za'atar here. I'm gonna use about 1/4 teaspoon of the za'atar. And to that, I'm gonna add a little bit of red pepper flakes. That pinch. So I'm gonna take my whisk, and if you can see that, so it's making like a nice marinade, which is yummy, yummy, yummy. See that? Yeah. So to that, I'm gonna add some salt. Gotta have some seasoning in there. About 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. And then to that, we're gonna add some cracked pepper that I've cracked and ground myself. I just put in my little containers here. And then we're gonna cut up some herbs because I want some fresh feel to my steaks. So I'm gonna grab my knife and get it chopping. So I've got some cilantro here. Just gonna take a bunch of the cilantro. And then I have some parsley. So I'm just gonna do a quick chop here. My whisk out of the way. So like I said, I'm just giving it a rough chop, and I'm not looking for small cuts right now. It's gonna break down in the marinade and when it cooks, so we're all good. So I'm just gonna take my chopped herbs and throw them right in the marinade. Excellent. So what I really like about this recipe is that it still gives you that meaty taste that you would get. And of course, this is not steak, it's not beef, it's not a chicken steak. This is a cauliflower steak. So it still has all the reminiscence of a cauliflower. But have you ever tasted roasted cauliflower? Oh my goodness, it is so good. So to have a nice cauliflower steak to be roasted, it's so yummy. And it's so great for this time of year. Nice to get that oven on, cranking it up, roasting some vegetables. Nothing makes me happier than that smell that you get and that aroma in your house when you turn on the oven, whether it's baking or roasting. It's just a nice comforting thing to have around in the house. You know, it puts you in a really good mood. Aromatics can do that for you. That's why people use lavender, you know, to ease the stress, and it's very calming. So, or while you'll see these things added to lotions and body oils, whether it's for yourself or for the babies, for their bath, there's something very soothing and aromatic. We've got our marinade, and I'm just gonna take my whisk. Doesn't that look yummy? So I just want to taste it. I want to see if it has the right amount of spices. You know, taste as you go so you can see what you need and what you don't. Certain points in cooking and baking, once you pass that point, you really can't season it up like you like. Okay. Might need a little bit more salt. That's okay, because we're in the beginning. We haven't roasted it yet. Here we go. So I'm gonna preheat my oven to 400. So we're preheated. So we're good to go. So I'm gonna set these off to the side here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the cauliflower cracking. Beautiful. So this is a seasonal item for this time of year. As you can see, she's beautiful. She got little brown spots, but she good. She good. Those we can just cut away, and we're roasting it, so you're not really gonna see too much of that. But she's a beautiful head of organic cauliflower. Ain't she pretty, y'all? Ain't she pretty, y'all? She pretty. Y'all leave me alone. I love my fruit and my vegetables and how pretty and beautiful in their natural state like they are. just puts me in a bright mood. So we're gonna slice this, and the core is what's gonna keep your steak together. So normally with cauliflower, you know, you want to remove the core, but for this we're not. Now I'm gonna remove a piece of the core, yes, but some of that core we need, and it'll break down, and it's not going to be fibrous. And if they come apart like this, like the ends, that's okay, because these are just little steaks, so don't worry about that. So you just want to cut them. So this one's really nice. It kind of stayed together. So far so good, but I can feel that it's breaking apart. So again, it's farthest away from the core, so that's why you see it breaking apart, but that's okay. We good. So now you'll see that we're at the core. So the normal instinct is to core it, but I need some of that core so my steak stays intact. And you want it thick, about 1/2 inch, but not too thick. So you see how this core is keeping my steak intact. Don't worry, we're gonna do something with it. So depending on how big your cauliflower is, and I'm cutting them very, very thick. They're not thin pieces at all. It's okay. They're in nice big pieces. It's still gonna have that nice meaty texture, so don't worry about it. Don't worry. Stock, you can make soup with that. So vegetables. You could do anything with them. So I'm gonna put this to the side here. Okay, there we go. So now you have more room. So obviously this has a lot in it, you know, so I'm just gonna cut it off a little bit. So we've got that much. Makes about 1/4 of a steak here. So I'm just gonna take my knife here and just remove the bottom of the core. See? Just remove the bottom. And don't worry, we're roasting it at 400. This is all going to break down, and it is truly, truly edible. Form a habit. And when you have lived a lifestyle where you eat a lot of processed foods, sugars, high sodium, frozen packaging, instant, things like that, you know, your taste buds are not used to having something natural or tasting something in its natural state, just how it is. Without all the added chemicals and preservatives. So it's a lot to get used to, but once you start and you're on your journey, you'll see it's a much better flavor, it's a much better taste, and it's much better quality. You know, so you have to think in terms of what am I eating and what am I putting into my food, and create that lifestyle for you, and you won't miss those preservatives and those chemicals that you taste. You will be renewed and awakened with the newness of natural things in their natural state. There's nothing like it. So, Got away from me for a second, my bad. So our cauliflower steaks look beautiful. They look beautiful. So I'm just trying to create a flat surface for my steaks. Flowers facing up. Take this one and move this one here. Don't worry, this is all gonna shrink down. You know, vegetables are primarily water, so we don't have to worry about that. Kind of missed this one here. She white. Don't worry, she gonna be alright. She gonna be alright. So we have our cauliflower steaks that have some marinade on them, and we're gonna set this to the side because I want it to be infused with the marinade. So I'm not putting it in the oven just yet. Just give me 5 or 10 minutes for the marinade to sit on there for it to do its magic. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get popping with this sweet potato. So I have a cold pan here. Anytime you work with your starches, such as your potatoes or sweet potatoes, you really want to start with a cold pot with cold water and bring it up to temp so it cooks from the inside out. That's the way you want to do it. So I have my organic sticker here. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to give it a quick rinse because I'm going to keep my skins on. Rinse it. Yeah, pretties. So I'm just going to chop it in half. There we go. Cut out any discoloration or any odd things that I may see. See, it's a little bit bruised right there. You want to cut that out. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna put our cauliflower into the oven because it is time. Here we go. "30 minutes on 400. Let's get it cranking. I've got my potatoes that I'm putting in my pot. Yeah. So, there are a lot of good properties for sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are good for your gut. They're high in vitamin A. They are also antioxidants. Cauliflower is also antioxidants, anti-cancer. It helps to build the immune system. It also aids in reducing inflammation. That's kind of cool. Rich source of fiber and calcium. You see? With our cold pot. So this is all we're going to use today. I used 3/4 of our whole sweet potato there. I'm cranking up my heat. With Naya, we also talked about parasites and how they affect our body, and we talked about cleanses. Here we go. So I've got my leeks here. See my dog in there in the background. And I'm just giving them a quick chop here. That's it. So these leeks are gonna go in bowl. Another bowl. I've got my thyme here. So thyme is really easy, but it takes forever. So I'm just going reverse down the stem with my index finger and my thumb. That's it. And the top ones come off really easy. So we're also gonna do a red onion. So our potatoes are heating up very nicely. I like to use red onions. It has like a nice fiery flavor and taste to them. But have you ever tasted the caramelization of roasted or grilled red onions? Oh, it's so inviting. Very nice. We boiling, y'all. So I'm only cooking them for a very short time, maybe 5 minutes, no more than that. And then they're finishing in the oven with our seasoning and spices. We doing it, we doing it. So I've got my strainer here, and I just want to see where the tenderness is with my sweet potatoes. Okay, so this is the perfect consistency you want them at. Where see my tongs squish it a little bit, but it still has maintains a little bit of the fiber. It hasn't been totally broken down yet. So off this goes. And then we're gonna strain them, and then we're gonna put them in our pan. We're gonna do that now. I got our pan here. So the pan I've left on my stove on low. This sheet pan here. As you see me try to put it down. Don't be laughing at me, y'all. So now it's gonna continue to keep cooking, but it's also gonna create that nice crust on my potatoes that I want to have in that roasting process as the water continues to evaporate. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna rinse very quickly. Okay, so now to my potatoes, we're going to season them up. So to that, I'm gonna add some of my spice mixture here. Let me see if I could show you. I got you. Add my spice mixture here. About 1 teaspoon of the organic 21 spices and herbs. And to that, I'm gonna add my turmeric. And to that, I'm gonna add my pepper. 1 for flavor and taste, and then 2, it does not absorb into the body, the curcumin compound, so we're putting that in there. Then we're going to add some avocado oil. There we go. So I've got my turmeric and sweet potatoes here. I'm gonna hit it with some avocado oil just so it can adhere to the sweet potatoes. And don't forget, I got my leeks and my thyme mixture here. So I'm just gonna gently massage, and don't worry, the vegetables are cool. The sweet potatoes are hot, but when you do it very quickly, no worries. So I'm just gonna watch. This is already partially cooked. Look how beautiful it is. Look at all those colors. So gorgeous. It's already partially cooked. So we're just cooking it for about 15 minutes and roasting it. And then I want to get like a nice color on it. So I might put it under the broiler for about 5 minutes. So into the oven that's already set to 400 degrees. Our cauliflower is looking good. It's bubbling, it's sizzling. I know you can hear it. It smells fantastic in here. So our cauliflower is roasting. It's been roasting at 400. The next thing that we're gonna do is fix my bracelet. Seeing in some of the videos it keeps coming out. And our blanched sweet potatoes are working hard in that oven along with that cauliflower. So we really don't have to worry about that anymore. So let's move on to the finale of what we're doing at this point. So I have some fresh kale. I want it to be fresh. By all means, another step you could do is leave that blanched sweet potato water, blanch these in there really quick, and it'll take some of the bite out and make it a little bit soft. But that's it. So I'm just gonna take my kale here and rinse it. I'll take a paper towel, addition to my whacking, and get some of this water, excess water off. Easy peasy. So for that, I'm just going to remove the stem because it's very woody. This piece right here you don't want. It's very fibrous. You can cook this down, but we're having it fresh today, so you don't want your family and your children chewing for days. So you went down the spine here, and I'm just detaching my leaves. Nothing but the leaves. Yeah, I did it. I did it. I did it. I could bend down. So I'm just giving it a rough chop. Look at that. Beautiful. So I've got these pomegranates that I'm using here. So I'm just gonna remove them from the flesh and the skin. Very easy to do. Pomegranates, they're great. They help to remove parasites from your body. Healthy components in what they do. And it's in season. It's in season, right? So, pomegranates. Okay. Nothing beats fresh. Burst of flavor in your mouth. So I kind of enjoy that. So I just want to make sure we got enough in there. And don't forget we got our cucumber, right? Good. So to that, just gonna slice it in half. Then I'm just removing the skin of the top of the cucumber. Holding it down like this. No digits. Claw them back. It's okay to have a couple of different cuts in your stuff, right? Salad that you're making, your food, whether you're baking, roasting, sauteing, braising. Change it up a bit. Make it fun. I know with my children, I always did things like that with them, with their lunches, star-shaped sandwiches, you know, a little bit of cutouts, you know, it's just fun. It's a fun thing. And it puts your signature on it to let them know that you thought about them and, you know, puts a smile on their face. You never know what our children are going through when they're in school. So it's just something to make them smile and make you think about home and to feel good. So I like to do different shapes and things like that. Here's our salad. So what are we dressing it with? So I have oil marinades for my potatoes, and my cauliflower. So I want to change it up when it comes to my salad. So this is what your girl's going. That's right. Apple cider vinegar. We're gonna use that today. Another fun fact is that we use thyme in our potato mixture, and thyme also helps to get rid of parasites. So that's another fun thing. So to that, I'm gonna add, I don't know, about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And then using my hands, I'm just gonna lightly toss it. And don't worry about the pomegranates. We gonna fix it. I just wanna make sure that the apple cider vinegar is getting on these leaves, because it's gonna help to make them soft, and it's gonna help to break down a little bit of that fiber there. So I'm gonna calm it down just a little bit. This is really good. Raw is where it's at. All the nutrients and vitamins are in this. So I got some balsamic glaze, which is pretty sweet. Yes, it already has vinegar in it. But this glaze is gonna brighten up my dish a little more, and it's gonna add that sweetness that I need. Tastes great. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just put a little salt and pepper. So I got some fresh cracked pepper that we're gonna put on it today. And I have a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. Now I'll use my tongs to toss it. Here we go. So as this breaks down, it's creating its own liquid with the apple cider vinegar. Pomegranate and red kale salad with cucumbers. Very simple. Very, very simple. So let's check on our cauliflower. Ooh, look at those potatoes. Oh, she's looking good. Oh, let me see those potatoes. Oh, the potatoes, oh my gosh. They're just about there. So I've got 7 minutes left to cook. So for that, I'm switching on my air fryer to broil. I know how many settings does this chick have, right? And I'll put it on the remaining time on that. So when we come back, I have all this stuff cleaned up. We're gonna talk about some things about health and wellness, and then we're going to plate up. So I'll be right back. So we got 30 seconds on that oven, and you should see the caramelization on the sweet potatoes and those roasted cauliflower steaks. It smells fabulous in here. So 19 seconds and counting. So we've got our pomegranate, red kale, and cucumber salad that we did with apple cider vinegar and balsamic glaze. That's it. Waiting for the timer. Like, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. Bing! Okay, here we go. Let's get her out. And get it popping. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, baby. Roasted cauliflower steaks. Eat your heart out. Organic Chef is how I be doing it. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing in here. And then we've got our sweet potatoes, or as African Americans who came from Africa, it was customary for us to call them yams. So I got my crusty turmeric sweet potatoes, or yams, with my crispy leeks. And before we plate up, I just want to go over. So I've got my dishes here. So I've got my plate here. So, look how juicy these are. OMG. I'm elated. I'm beside myself. So I've got my salad here. It's a beautiful, beautiful salad here. So I'm just gonna place my salad on my plate. I'm gonna take my scoop here. I'm gonna scoop on my cauliflower. Oh, that looks so pretty. Looks so pretty. Then I got my roasted sweet potatoes. Look at that. That is like scrumptious. But you know, that's not enough for me. You know I gotta take it up. So for that, I'm gonna hit it with some of that balsamic glaze. And it's gonna bring my dish together. Boom. So you're like, okay, I see you, but how does it taste? Let me show you. So I'm gonna taste a little bit of the turmeric potatoes. Oh my God, this is really good. It's like a little crusty on the outside with that skin. A little bit of my salad. Get some cucumbers. Nice burst. I got that pomegranate. And last but certainly not least, let's check out this cauliflower. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful color. Beautiful. See that? Wow. Great meal. Great for this time of year. And your girl nailed it. It's a great recipe, great meal. I'm telling you, the whole family's gonna love it. Trust me. So we did cauliflower steak today with a marinade. We made turmeric sweet potatoes, and then we finished it off with a fresh kale, cucumber, and pomegranate salad. Holler at your girl. This is how we doing it. New you, new year, new healthy lifestyle. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. 2021. Holler at your girl. From my humble kitchen to yours, I enjoyed having you. Keep seeing me on Taste on TV. Organic Chef, #Fresh is Best. This is how we're doing it, y'all. Have a great day. I love you. Keep being safe with your family and your friends and your children. And I'm out. See you later.
Kathy, how are you today?
Hey!
Yes! And we have video! We are live. Yes. Hello, Chef Kathy.
Greetings, Queen Naya. How are you?
Blessed day. It's been amazing. A lot of good food, family, fun.
Yes.
Yes. In our food journey, pretty much from October until February, food is very significant to us. So, thank you for acknowledging this particular moment and all of the holidays in between until we air. And hopefully the information that we share with people will be so timely that they'll be willing to let it grace their table no matter what.
No matter what.
Yes.
Well, today's topic is pretty interesting. I chose parasites because I don't think it gets a lot of, I'm looking for a better word, not recognition, but acknowledgement that there is a such thing as parasites. And, it does affect the human body. And there's so many different things out there as far as cleansing, detoxing, parasitic cleanses, things like that. And I wanted to talk with you from a nutritional standpoint because I got some stuff here about how to get rid of parasites, what to include in your cleanse, or what herbs or produce or whole foods help to aid in storing away parasites and or with some type of detoxic and cleanse. So I have some things here. I've got some cloves, ground cloves.
Okay.
I have some cayenne pepper.
Very good.
I've got some fresh thyme.
Yes.
I've got some fresh mint and a fresh pomegranate.
Yes.
And what I found out is, just really quickly, just some things that says pomegranates help destroy worms in the intestinal tract, as well as papaya, pumpkin seeds, removing the seeds, letting them dry out, and then eating them raw. It says here it helps to do that first thing in the morning. That's what a lot of them say, to do, to eat these things early in the morning. Thyme, cayenne pepper helps to repel parasites. Coconut, eating the flesh of a coconut, drinking the coconut juice, eating garlic, just among other things. Some other things I found out that help to kill parasites in the body: wormwood, oregano oil, black walnuts, cloves, diatomaceous earth, grapefruit seed extract, neem, Oregon grape, olive leaf, barberry. It said that these things help to cleanse the body of parasites. From a dietitian or nutritional standpoint, and when you talk about detoxing, can you please break down the effect of parasites to the human body and how we can detox?
My pleasure. First thing I'd like us, I appreciate your fact about not acknowledging that we are hosts to parasites. And, you know, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable and feel gross to just imagine, what do you mean I'm full of worms? Well, this is the absolute reality. And this, in part, it has to do a lot with your body, but this is also just the nature of the beast, of this organism in the world we're in. Everyone has parasites, okay? That's just a part of it. You know, if you eat raw meat, definitely you have parasites. If you eat cooked meat or undercooked meat, there's likely parasites within the system. It's just that if our bodies are balanced, more alkaline than acidic, our body can deal with a lot of just typical stuff that we get from our foods. You know, because again, the argument where big food business says that, you know, we can't ever please these people because they don't want to be eating the bugs. They don't know what this stuff looks like when they bring it in out of the field because, you know, it has worms, apples have worms, you know, this has that. Yeah. So we're doing them a favor by getting rid of that stuff for them. Well, and that's some of the justification, but very first point, the human body itself is a parasitic organism. We're host to many things. So the idea is to make sure we use good practices to minimize the dangers that we experience. So first of all, making sure we cook meat product to the absolute complete temperature. Making sure that for fruits and vegetables that we wash them. You know, that's very, very important toward detoxing because you're making sure that you're taking in clean product or cleaner product into the system. As a part of daily detoxing, we must, first of all, we have to take away the cranky, oh, I got to detoxify. Like it's like this major event that you have to steel up for. And it's only considered that if you don't understand the magnificence of water, If you take your daily intake of water every day, it actually helps the intestines, especially if it's quality water. It helps the intestines to clean and help to remove a lot of toxins. And I dare say parasites, because if we're drinking quality water, which is 7, 8, 9 pH balance, typically, especially 9 pH balanced water, that's excellent to help clean kidneys, liver, spleen. But when we do daily detoxing, making sure that we take in the appropriate amount of water for our bodies each day, trying to make sure we get enough fiber every day, because fiber is just important to help get that gunk out of the system. And then to make sure that we have fresh fruits and vegetables. That's all a part of daily detoxing. When we do it in appropriate amounts, we don't have to dramatize the experience.
I'm sorry. I'm so glad you brought that up, because it gets under my skin when people tell me that they're going to detox. Like it's a big scheduled event. But if you did these things on a regular basis, right?
It takes a lot of that pre-planning. Now, going from just basic, because having enough water, enough fruits and vegetables and fiber, that's just basic nutrition. When we go to the next level of detoxing, where we say, well, where do those herbal teas and stuff like that come in? Well, that's where I typically recommend to people, if you look at your detoxification life, you say every day I get that fruits, vegetables, I get my water, I get everything I need to make sure I'm eliminating properly every day. Well, every 2 weeks, you can do a colon cleanse or a juicing fast that'll help continue to move and push through toxins from the system. And then I say, hey, if you're that person where once a month, do a really good colon cleanse where you take those products that want you to set aside a weekend because you're going to need bathroom access. That stuff is real. And for myself, I don't speak, I believe they work, especially if you regiment them into your lifestyle. No one's going to beat you up for drinking water every day and you're still detoxing. So if we look at a 30-day calendar, a month, so you're drinking water every day. Every 2 weeks, you do a juicing weekend. Once a month, I'm gonna clean my colon. That can be combined with your juicing weekend. If the program that you decide upon allows you to juice, let your colon cleanse and your juicing weekend happen the same weekend. So my most excellent, you have to plan for it. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a momentary experience. So how do we continue to work detoxification into our lives? So every day we're getting enough water, fruits, vegetables, fiber. Maybe once a month I'm going to juice and colon cleanse. Well, every 3 months, if we actually change our food according to the season that we're in, making sure that we get seasonal food, like right now, potatoes, the tubulars, ginger, those things, yam, those things play a big part in our lives, or they should right now, particularly if you're eating seasonally. So if your table has the pumpkin in it, that's a part of the seasonal lifestyle. And if you want to consider every 3 months doing something a little different. It's 2020, so we have cookbooks everywhere. It's not hard to have different food experiences every day. You just have to allow it to be a lifestyle and not a die tea, or a die with a tea, as I call it.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I had so many people ask me questions about detox. What type of teas do you make? What do you put in the tea? And I think the fact that people are thinking about health, thinking about being healthier, I think that's a great start. At least you're thinking about making changes and implementing some healthy routines, in your lifestyle. But I don't think it's a one quick stop shop, one day, one time, one thing that's going to do it.
And I agree with you, but then you have things like the lemonade diet and stars like Beyonce. That cayenne pepper right there, girl. Take that cayenne pepper right there, and you're gonna put it in a little lemon juice and some water, girl. So, when you have that battle of, yes, I'll have temporary success with it, and how does this really fit into a lifestyle for me? Those are two different questions. And when you try to approach those questions the same, what I've learned is that's where failure occurs. And I only say it's failure because when I'm dealing with clients and even myself, and I'm like, man, I intended to lose that 30 pounds in 30 days, with ferocious exercise 7 days a week. And it's like, yeah, right. Even as one who believes in good health and nutrition, I have a lot of the same moments where I have to realign with better health. And I just know, again, at 28 Days Sugar Addict Rehab, my Facebook page, and in talking with other, giving counsel, I just have to remind people we have to be patient with ourselves, but it does start every day. Get your water, get your fiber, whether it's oatmeal or oat milk or, some type of fiber-rich food. If you want to enjoy the teas, then there are brands that you can have. Like the Yogi has a great detox tea that's already pre-made. You don't have to go learn the herbology. However, if you want to, follow trusted sources.
Little food and safety emails. And I go to work the next day and they're like, scrap romaine, scrap this, scrap spinach, and we had to rearrange, our salad bar because we couldn't keep it, until there was a clear, to serve the product, that was a healthy product to give people. I encourage anyone you can subscribe to the Food and Safety and FDA, and you'll get your newsletter, you'll get your emails, and you get directly from them. You don't have to wait for the news. I get it all day long.
And if you notice that a lot of what you get doesn't even show up on the news until weeks later or even months later, if it can be minimized. So yes, going to the horse's mouth is a great way to get the information you need.
Absolutely.
Include a chapter on detoxification in 28 Days Sugar Addict Rehab. With much of the information that I shared with you today, we are magnificent hosts to some amazing parasites. That's we are. So.
And reality is ash to ashes, dust to dust.
Amen.
We go back to where we came from.
Amen.
If you can realize everything that is in your hands, your hair, your follicles, it's been around for over thousands and thousands of years. They're all particles are part of you. And when we cease to exist, they go right back to where they came from. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for being on the call today. I appreciate you. Naya has hung in with me for several calls for a lot of the different episodes that I'll be doing coming up on Taste on TV. And I couldn't thank her enough for her support and her wealth of knowledge and information on her nutrition facts and values of adding healthy components to eating on a daily basis and implementing them in our meal plans. But we are coming to a close. It's getting late. But do you have anything else you want to add, Naya?
Just simply to encourage everyone to live well, be well, stay well.
Absolutely. This is Organic Chef. This is Naya. Peace and blessings to everyone. We thank you for being a part, and we hope that, if anything, this information helps someone or helps somebody that you know. We have to share information. And for me, it's really, 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 really big as people of color. We have to help one another and share the wealth of information that we have. Each one teach one. And this is how we all come together and progress and succeed in life, by sharing what we know and giving that information to people who need it.
Indeed. Well, have a wonderful evening until the next time. Until the next time.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for jumping on that turmeric. I knew we'd cover it at some point in time. So I said, well, maybe we could cover it today. So I do appreciate it. So today's topic, turmeric, parasites, detoxing, cleansing. Get at your girl.
Get at me, 28 Day Sugar Addict Rehab on Facebook. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Love you.
Bye-bye. Take care.